Give me those funk flex bombs. Yeah. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is the Zach Dresler Show. I am Zach Dresler. This is
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Episode 2.
Yes.
Of the Zach Dresler Show. We haven't been canceled.
Not yet.
Not yet.
They haven't stopped us yet.
Last week, obviously, was episode 1. It was the pilot. We had a fun time doing it. This is, like I said, this is going to be a show. Anything goes. We'll have some topics to talk about. Sports, pop culture, whatever's on the top of my head. Things I want to do. I want to put out in the universe. Things I want to put on this channel that will be coming soon. Last week, I shared a video that I made of me doing a McRib. Eating a McRib, but doing it to the Home Alone scene where Kevin is shaving his face to a great song. So
it's an instant classic.
It's a great.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That I watched that movie again today, and then I sat and watched Home Alone 2. I feel like December is one of those things where you lock into a channel, or yourself has their Christmas movies you want to watch. Elf,
right?
Die Hard. They could be arranged from anything, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and even Harry Potter movies. I love them all. So I'm a huge fan of all of them. I love this whole, the whole, just the whole Christmas vibe. I love the holiday vibe. It doesn't be Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, by the way, to all my fellow Jews out there. It is the first night of Hanukkah.
It's the first night.
It is the first night of Hanukkah.
My girlfriend told me it was the second.
Tori. It's okay.
This is what goys. This is how it happens in a goy household.
I have a secret to tell you. Jews are the same way. It's like we wake up. It's like, oh, today's the first day of Hanukkah. We had no idea. You just wake up and know. Like
no planning.
No, I mean, older Jews, yes. Mothers, fathers. When you don't have kids, you don't need to plan it. Because my father, and I think this is bullshit. What my father told me, but my father told me this growing up is that and Hanukkah, the tradition the tradition is you're supposed to get a gift for every single night of Hanukkah, which is our 8 nights. You light one candle each night. For 8 nights. And as a kid, you were supposed to get a gift each night. Some people follow it. Some people get multiple gifts. Whatever your pleasure is.
Some families it's Christmas 8 days in a row.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You could be that. Mine were always themed. So usually, when I was a teenager, I would get like a gaming console, and then every night would be like I get the remote control the next night. I get a game the next night. When I was into Legos, I'd get a Lego set or something to go along with the Lego set.
So it's kind of like an unfolding. Like we'll let you see this, and then you get a little of this, and then a little bit of that. They sprinkle it in.
Exactly. And when I was 13 or was I 14, my father only gave me one gift. He said, once you get bat or bar mitzvahed, once you become a man or a woman, 13 years of age, you only get one gift. You don't get a gift or anything. And I feel like that was crap. It was a load of crap because he had, my 2 younger brothers, they were significantly younger than me. So I feel like he was just trying to budget his money, which I don't want to say is a very Jewish thing, but it's a very Jewish thing.
Well, he could be budgeting his time.
Sure.
As well. That's a lot of gifts, and you got to please the wife. And,
right. Absolutely. So, I don't, happy Hanukkah to everybody. I hope you're eating potato latkes. I hope you're enjoying it.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do.
I don't think I've ever had one.
You never had a potato latke?
I need,
well, good thing. Well, you know
culture.
what? Maybe I'll bring some to the next episode, because the next show that we do, the episode 3, will be the tail end of Hanukkah. So I'll bring you some latkes.
Oh, that would be dope. A latke taste test.
I can't promise they'll be fresh. I'll try and make them the day of, but we'll do what we got to do. You know what I mean?
How generous.
I try.
You could pick them up too.
By the way, you can also now watch this not only on YouTube, but you can listen to this on...
We're on all streaming platforms. Or, we're on the
Podcast.
Apple, not iHeartRadio yet, but we're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on Stitcher. And I'm trying to get us onto Amazon, but nobody's listening on Amazon.
Really?
It's Amazon Music.
I usually listen to either Apple or Spotify when it comes to music or podcasts, or maybe sometimes I flip over to Stitcher if it's that's the main
right. If it's some like dark web podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But go check us out. Hit like and subscribe on YouTube, whatever you guys want to do, or don't subscribe. I really don't care.
Hit the like button and comment. It's
just like us.
It helps
please.
The algorithm, as they say.
Just like us, please. What have you been up to then this week? How was your week been?
Busy, man.
Yeah.
Busy.
You're working. I'm not. So you're obviously busy. I mean, I'm working, quote unquote, on my life.
I'm working too. Like I'm not, I'm not like a barista. I'm not like wearing a mask all day, or a grocery worker or a frontline worker.
God bless them.
Yeah, God bless them. But I'm lucky to have a remote job in the entertainment industry doing post production stuff.
Yeah.
So. I was, when COVID first started, I was like, oh man, production halted. Is there going to be any post work? And then there was just a sliver enough to where I've made it scot-free so far.
That's good. That's good. Knock on wood. We don't have any wood here, but knock on my head.
But supposedly our company said Q4 has been our biggest Q4 ever.
Wow.
So, but it's still under what they projected, obviously. But
that's still
I'm
great,
like,
though.
That's good news? ? So yeah.
It's hard out there. I've been applying. I'm applying to jobs left and right. Getting interviews, getting multiple interviews, and a lot of companies. It's either they're hiring an influx, so I'm, small fish in a big pond type of thing, or they're going through the rounds, they're hiring, and then they're going on a hiring freeze. And it's frustrating when that happens, but you just got to keep on moving forward. And like I said, I'm doing my own thing. I'm doing this show. I'm making my own content when I can, while I'm also applying to jobs. And speaking of making my own content, I posted earlier this week a video that I shot back in May called Quarantine Crazy. And it's something that I did. I grew my beard out for like 3 months. I wasn't planning to shave all the quarantine. The original plan was I wasn't going to shave until the lockdown and quarantine were over. And back in March, everyone was like, oh, this is only going to last to the end of April. Oh, it's only going to last to the end of May. And then things got into June and July. And so end of May came and I had this wild man Borneo beard going on. Oh, thank you, Andy. Appreciate that. Nice fresh glass of water. I had this huge, crazy beard, and a quarantine beard. It kind of looked like what's that movie with Tom Hanks where he's on
Castaway?
I kind of look like Tom Hanks in Castaway. I mean, it was thick, it was long, and I was barely able to even put like a mask over my face. I needed like a second mask.
I love that look though.
I needed like a second mask for like the bottom of my beard.
And it's like a cloud and like a mask just sitting on a like a furry cloud.
Yeah. It was funny because I felt like it still wasn't protecting me, and it just got too itchy, got too much. So I shaved it, and when I shaved it, I wanted to make this sketch, and so here it is. I'll play it for you real quick. It's one man, lots of looks. What do you guys want to do today? Let's go cow tipping. We can't. We live in Los Angeles. Yep. Let's go to Flavortown. Let's crack some skulls. You can see the different idiots. We're not supposed facial to leave hair the house. Just calm down, okay? Full beard. Just think smaller or something. How about we offer someone a ride? All right. Big old goatee, big handlebars. No, we're not supposed to be near anyone. Chew. How about we go on a nice hike? That's a penciled-in mustache. Social distancing, of course, while we enjoy a nice. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing with this mustache. So I had to do different layers. Like I had to shoot everything at once. So like
that was logistical.
Oh, I made a whole shot sheet. I mean, I normally make shot sheets for most of my things, but when I make fun little YouTube things for myself, where it's just myself, or reels, I rarely make a shot sheet. I really do. So, but I had to because I had to keep track of my lines, what I was saying, and going through the different shaving points. So, I mean, this took like 4 or 5 hours too because I had to start full beard, then shave it down to the next one, and remember my cadences and who I was talking to. It was a full-on production. But when I got to this point, I shaved a pencil-thin mustache. Here's the problem: is that the facial hair around my lip and my lower lip are like blondie baby hairs. They're not dark like way you can see my the stubble coming in now. So
they're not that meat.
No, they're not the meat. So I had to have my girlfriend Carrie had to have her like pencil in this little tiny mustache here, which is fun. Dairy-free organic chai. Huh? Ew, gross.
But I'll tell you what does sound good. We replace that frothy chai drink with a nice cold Budweiser, right? And then take hike out and put it in for a protest.
I really tried
City
to
Hall.
go for the best.
You got yourself a goddamn deal, brother.
Michigan
How about we order
protester?
some In-N-Out and play some Monopoly.
I think you got it.
No fucking way. He always cheats. Who, me? Not you, bro. Him, bro. You can just boot, scoot, and boogie your ass out that door, buddy. Come get it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm vegan, so...
No disrespect to vegans.
When are you a vegan? Since always, silly pants. What are you talking about? You had a cheeseburger the other day. That was Beyond Meat? I have an idea. No way, man. Is that who I think it is? No, thank you. Nope. No. Get out.
No. I mean, we go with the outtakes in it, but the Hitler thing came at the very last moment. That was one thing I added at the very end, and I was really hesitant to do the whole. It had to be something quick like that. I didn't want to have many dialogue. It just like a quick throw in there, and it worked out pretty well. But that was one I had to actually get a fake mustache for and trim down, because at that point I had shaved everything,
right,
and that was the last thing I needed. But
I thought it was super cool how dynamic each shot looked. Not necessarily just you change, like some people do that and it's just a white background the entire time.
Yeah.
But like literally like the rim, like who wants to go to, that one was like, each one had a very different look to it. And like, it was really cool how like you could just do that. It was okay. I'm in this corner here for this one and with this mustache and over here with this goatee, No, it was a lot of fun to shoot, and like I was worried about that. What I was more concerned about, I shot that with no lights, so I was up against daylight. So like I even go back and like crunch.
Color correct a little bit, I wanted to make it a little bit snazzy. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Check it out. There's also some outtakes. You can see like some of the other lines I did. We can just go through them real quick here.
Say,
my girlfriend.
You can just boot, scoot, and boogie your ass out that door.
You can just boot, scoot, and boogie your ass out that door, buddy.
You're going to be doing the watermelon crawl when I'm done with you.
You're going to be doing the watermelon crawl when I'm done with you.
She's got some crazy
Not you. Him.
Yeah. Oh, do that. I do that exactly.
And their dog starts coughing.
Do that one more time. Hold on. Let me stop laughing. Hold on. Hold for dog wheezing.
So our dog is Tito's about like 11, 12 years old, and he's got a little heart murmur going, but
I hate to laugh at him, but that's
we all laugh at him. We all
Yeah.
laugh at him. So I mean, that's something I want to try to do once a week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The hardest part again was just filming bit was just A, the razor burn, but B, remembering what style I shot already and like who I was talking to, even though those people weren't there.
Right.
Makes you go crazy.
No, you're a good actor though, because I
appreciate that. My girlfriend
momentum was there.
Honestly, if it wasn't for Carrie, it probably would have been half as good. She really kept me going and directing. And
like
everything.
she was the bouncing,
yes,
like the other character.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. I could totally hear that. Yeah.
But before I go into the next topic, I did want to talk about something funny that happened today. It is Hanukkah, like I mentioned. Happy Hanukkah to everyone.
Happy Hanukkah.
As a joke, Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov, first night. As a joke, I posted on my Twitter, on my Instagram, on my social media, I should say, just go across, this like funny, stupid thing. I as I always do, I wrote Happy Hanukkah. My Venmo is at Zach Dresler. I'll be accepting money for the next 8 days. And it's only the first day, Indy. I've already made $41 from friends.
Really?
Yes. 5, 6, 7 different people have Venmoed me money.
That's funny because I just
shout out to Charlotte Wilson, by the way, one of my friends. She gave me $20 today from this.
Wow, mazel.
I know. I tried to, she's a goy, and I tried to hustle her as Jews do for more money. I was like, wow. I was like, $20 on the first night. Now you got to keep that up for the rest of the 7 nights. And just to let you know, you have to raise it at least by $5 if you start that high.
Got up
which
to
is
Annie.
Completely crap. I just made that up. But
no.
But thank you to everyone that has given money so far. If it gets to a ridiculous amount of money, regardless, I'm probably just going to donate it. I didn't expect anything to happen from this. I didn't expect to. I just wanted to laugh. I usually post things just for the laugh, nothing for seriousness. Usually,
it got me.
Yeah.
This morning.
Did you almost
donate?
Funny. Did you almost?
Well, I thought about it, but
you almost give me money.
I definitely did think about it, but I was like, yeah, it's like, it's an elbow.
I'm inviting this guy over to stay in my place for an hour and use my equipment while recording. I'm not giving him fucking
I'm gonna
shit.
jeopardize my my immune system. Yeah, that's my payment.
By the way, in case anybody's wondering when you watch this, Indy and I are in separate rooms. We're more than 6 feet apart. I get tested at least every 2 weeks because, and then I'm going out or anything. Indy is the first person I probably have seen face to face other than my brother a month ago. Basically in a month. I haven't seen many people this year. No disrespect. I just want to keep my distance.
I don't think anybody takes offense to that.
No, but people, I just want to know when people are just like, oh, I can't believe he's shooting this without a mask. I don't have a mask on. My mask is right here. Indy's right there. He's got his mask on. We are socially distanced, and
the door is ajar.
It is
too. Yeah, it is. The door is like half open, so there's kind of a barrier.
It is,
and we're I would say 12, 15 feet away from each other.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
So, just a heads up. In other things I want to talk about, I don't even know how to say this because it's so weird. Yeah. In other things I want to talk about, it's the turn of the new year, and I feel like everyone this year, especially, didn't get to do their New Year's resolutions. Everyone always has high hopes going into the new year, and then, this year COVID happened. Every year I try to set resolutions, realistic ones. This year, I'm really big into my health. I was soccer playing in college. I was fit for a while. Then I put on a lot of weight, and not until, I was in my 30s did I really do something about it. When I found out I had diabetes and I've lost a lot of weight. You can see all those videos on BuzzFeed. But I feel like I need to go back to make myself accountable. I feel like I need to make another video of my continuous weight journey throughout life. I lost a lot of weight this year, then I put some back on. It's the holidays, so I have felt a little bit what's the word? Larger than normal in this past year. Bloated.
It's the COVID-15, the COVID-20.
Yeah, it's probably the COVID 2025 for me. And so I'm going to start getting back on track. I talked to my friend Steve Zim, who helped me. He's a trainer here in LA and Culver City at a Tighter U. He's going to help me get back to, where I was, which was nowhere, not as hard as it was the first time we did these videos at BuzzFeed, but he is the trainer that trained me, Steve Zim, in all those BuzzFeed videos. I'm going to use his app that he has made called ATU Mobile. So you can use it. You can use it at home. I have resistant bands and some light weights, or at the gym. He has both tailored workouts for at home, and you can switch it, in the program at home or in gym workout for whenever gyms do reopen.
This is a cool app.
It's a really cool app. Yeah, it's really great.
ATUmobile.com.
Yep. Alpha, Tau, Unanimous, Mobile.com.
I'm so glad he went with ATU.
Right.
This is cool.
But I think in doing this, I'm also going to do some other videos that I'm sure you've seen all over, and I know you've seen them on BuzzFeed, these 30-day challenges of like 100 push-ups each day for 30 days, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to do those as well. I never got asked to do those. Not that I was, please ask me to do those when I was at BuzzFeed, but I always wanted to do them to see what results I would get. So I think the first one I'm going to do is 100 push-ups a day. It's rough. Would you like to join me? Would you like to do it with me?
I'll try.
Do you want? Maybe we could.
I'm going to destroy myself.
That's fine. Listen, you don't have to do. Here's the thing. I think people, when they hear 100 push-ups, they think, "Oh crap!"
In one session.
One session. No, you can do 20 in the morning, 20 at lunch, 20 in the afternoon, 20 before you go to bed. That's still 80. You got to still do another 20. Math is not my strong suit.
No, I like the 20 thing where you go.
25 if you want.
I got to bang out 40 right now. Yeah, how about 25. 40 at lunch?
Whatever,
yeah.
however you want to do. Don't do less than 10, but I'm going to document it. If you want to join me, ND, please feel free. We'll post it. We'll do it after 30 days. We'll start either tomorrow or the next day, or maybe at the beginning of next week. But I think like a 30-day challenge, if we do that, maybe like 100 here, 100 there, we'll see good results over the next 3 months on top of me personally doing what I getting back in shape in terms of my cardio, working on my cardio better, and using those resistant bands to get my muscle definition back.
Right. Do I have to do more if I do them with my knees?
No, absolutely not. Listen, push-ups are push-ups. Listen, when I first started doing
I'm
this
like
fitness,
250. So like I think a knee push-up.
yeah, I encourage it. I encourage it. Listen, when I first started the fitness journey, 3-4 years ago with Steve, the first month when we were doing this, I was doing push-ups on my knees. I was doing 4 sets of 10. And it hurt. I was like, I could do these without my knee. And I could do 10, and then I died.
Yeah.
Go at your own pace. If people want to do this at home, people want to follow along, follow this journey I'm going to be posting on my YouTube channel. Be my guest. Let me know what you're doing. Keep in contact. There's, we have the email there. We have, you can comment, and I'll hit you up. But I think that's what I want to do. I want to do like these, 30-day challenges on top of this overarching theme. My birthday's coming up. It's a big number. I'm not going to tell you how old I'm turning until I feel comfortable letting you guys know. But it's a special.
He's a middle-aged woman. Everybody.
I know, pretty much. I'm. You're making me blush, Indy.
I'm just kidding.
No, I want to reach a certain goal and a certain look by this age. So we got 6 months till my birthday. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, let's, if you want to join me on my fitness journey, feel free. I'll be posting stuff all over my social media.
Is this an effort to get those birthday pics, those sweet birthday pics, or what?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a big number, and I want to look a certain way. And yeah, I want to throw some birthday thirst traps pics up on my wall. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. I've seen one ab on my body, and that's when I was like 18, 19 years old, and I was playing college soccer. That was the only one. It was just one. I still one
ab.
Ab. Ab.
Ab.
One of those things. It's one of those things. So. Yeah, follow along. Let's move on to stupid, ridiculous news, shall we?
Stupid news.
Stupid news.
Stupid.
All right, so we got some headlines in this week that may or may not have made national news, but we're still dumbfounded, confused, and hysterical when we read them. And again, some of these might be articles you might have read, some of them may not have been. Let's go to the first one here. Rudy Giuliani, he got COVID. I feel like this man has been in the news on a weekly basis for the past 4 years, and not in a good way, obviously. And, it's crazy for me being from New York, growing up with Rudy Giuliani as the mayor of New York. He really went from rags, or riches to rags, I want to say. I mean, he's probably still rich, but I mean, his PR hit.
A reputation.
I mean, this guy was the mayor, America's mayor.
He was
at one
beloved.
Point. He was called America's mayor. I mean, when 9/11 happened, I mean, that dude could have, if 9/11 happened in 99 or early 2000, right? And he ran for the presidency, he would have slayed by a landslide. He would have been the next president of the United States. I guarantee it. And now this guy, I mean, he is the president of Dumbfuckistan.
He's like the president's like a bulldog, attack dog.
And
it's not effective.
No. And this guy has, and I don't wish this thing upon anybody. Like I don't want anybody to get this. But when you are, clearly defined in these rules, these suggested regulations, as a lot of people have been, it's hard not to be like, ha ha. It's really hard not to be, Nelson from The Simpsons.
Right. Well, it's also like you see his.
Well, I mean the whole
sweat coming off of his black hair. Did you see the hair dye? The hair dye. Oh my gosh!
I mean, and last week when he was in Michigan with whatever that drunken woman that he brought to testify, but you heard he farted twice.
He did.
You just let it. He in the middle of him, debating the officials, he farted twice. And it was like the first time the woman next to him was like, "Did you do that, Rudy?" And then it was like, "Oh yeah, you did that, Rudy." Like,
I heard about it on SNL first.
Oh,
and then I went back. I was like, that couldn't have happened.
Yeah. I mean, the drunk witness was the the icing on the freaking cake. Oh, I gotta see. Did you see that? The drunk.
I haven't.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up.
I knew it was problematic. But please play it.
What is this? I'm trying. Well, I don't. I was gonna play the parody that this actress did. I'm trying to find. So there was this TikTok that I saw go viral on Twitter of the witness that the witness that Rudy Giuliani brought to this case in Michigan, and her audio has gone viral on Instagram and TikTok. And this comedian, I believe she's a comedian or actress, Julie Burke, I believe is how you say her last name, used her audio and made this clip, and it is, I watch it because it's hysterical. But this is exactly what this woman said, and this is exactly how she sounded.
Okay.
The poll book is completely off. Completely off.
Off by 30,000?
I'd say that poll book is off by over 100,000. That poll book? How many registered voters are on there?
I'm trying to get to the bottom
Zero.
here.
Zero. There's zero.
We're not seeing the poll book off by 30,000 votes. That's not the case.
What did you guys do? Take it and do something crazy to it?
And that's real
my
laughter
God.
The poll book,
behind her. That's real laughter. People like laughing.
Yes.
And she just continued.
I didn't.
My question then is if the
Guess how many? Wait. What about the turnout rate? 120%.
Well, let's let Representative Johnson ask his question, please.
So the poll book. So wow. My question then.
I mean, it was just when you look up the definition shit show.
Yeah.
This is what should come up because that's what it was.
It is so insane how, what is happening.
It's not insane anymore. This is I think what's insane is that this is the norm.
Right. Yeah.
This is the norm.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. God.
So, Rudy, I don't know, man. You need to just retire from life. All right, my man.
Well, he's done now. I mean, he's done.
No, they're all done. They're all. I mean, listen. I wouldn't say they're all done. There's gonna be the problem is that this is, and I don't want to get too political. Is that this is going to turn other people into Trump pundits? Okay, this is the future of how people think to be they're going to be a politician. I'm scared to see what a younger person who believes these things that Trump does will do with a larger following as the years go on.
Right. Because it's fun. It's so interesting how their colors show.
Yeah.
So bright.
It's a sad.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like it couldn't be more apparent.
Yep. No, absolutely.
How completely insane everything is. But what is but I think one thing that could take us out of this deep hole we're in is William Shakespeare. My man Bill Shakespeare. So in more silly news, which is actually fantastic news, the first round of COVID vaccinations have gone out across the world. Depending on COVID vaccine, baby.
Here we go, baby. COVID vaccine is it's here. Depending on where you rank and how badly you need it, will depend on when you get it. But in England, a man, and I kid you not, I wish this was something, a man named William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare receives the COVID-19 vaccination. He's 81 years old. He had it at the injection at the University Hospital in Coventry this past Tuesday. People just, Twitter and social media really take, in a good way, obviously.
Right.
Really took to it.
We're in such terrible times that this is a nugget of gold.
It's a little dark humor, but I love it. I like it.
Well, it's also like he kind of looks like the exhumed body of William Shakespeare.
Maybe, but what was his parent like? If your last name Shakespeare, when your parents are like, "This is a great idea. We're gonna name our kid William Shakespeare," one of the founding fathers of reading and literature and art, all that stuff,
right?
Plays, everything.
You're almost solidifying
I'm just looking
that
at.
you won't
I'm looking at the
accomplish.
joke. Someone wrote "The Taming of the Flu" or "The Two Gentlemen of Corona." I mean, that just cracks me up. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. It's just so funny. Like, they're setting him up for a life of
Either torment or greatness.
torment or greatness, but I think it's more torment because you got big shoes to fill, bub. You have to create a body of work that will last longer than hundreds of years.
Sure. But here's the thing. Here's the thing is that do you think like he probably hated his name most of his life because like what we just talked about, like he'll never live up to. It's like being named Michael Jordan. Like the actor Michael Jordan, I feel like has to be called Michael B. Jordan to differentiate himself
Definitely.
from one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
And I think what's so interesting is that he is such a good actor that you know who Michael B. Jordan is.
Right, exactly.
That's what's great.
But no, I don't think anybody, I don't think anybody calls him Michael Jordan because like that will just confuse you. It's like no, the greatest actor is Michael P. Jordan.
Right.
And the greatest basketball player is Michael Jordan. But like something with William Shakespeare, I mean, that's just like, growing up. I mean, you never live that down. You never live. I feel like, and I feel like the only time it's been like he's probably happy about it is that now, because no one would have cared who this guy was getting this vaccine if his name was John Smith or Zach Dresler. No one, he wouldn't be making news because his name is William Barr. So
Yeah. Well, congrats to Will, our buddy Will over there in the UK. It's so interesting. We're so uneducated here in the States about the UK.
about everything.
I thought like England was a country, man. It's like a state, kinda. And the UK is a country. I don't know. Crazy?
Yeah, no.
It's like I live in California. That's like saying I live in England if you live in England.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, but they are their own countries in themselves. They form.
I know, right?
It's weird. It's weird. It's really strange because
I'm not an expert in this at all.
No, I mean, when the Olympics play, it's Great Britain. It's not England. They're Great Britain.
It's GB.
It's GB. But when they play in the World Cup, it's England. You know what I mean? And Wales is
not
Wales.
UK.
It's not UK. Scotland. Ireland's
so the
Ireland.
teams. Well, that makes sense. Well, in the States, you don't have the USA Chargers.
No. But
Right.
but in international play, it's still international play. It's still like I'm talking about the Olympic level or like the World Cup or like when they're playing like FIBA international basketball.
Right.
It's it's Great Britain, which is
Colombia.
England.
Right. Yeah.
But it's funny, nobody calls Great Britain in the World Cup for soccer. They call it England.
It's so weird.
And then there's Wales.
Yeah.
And Ireland, Scotland, all those.
And it's so weird in the Olympics. The UK isn't a team.
It's Great Britain.
It's just GB.
Yeah,
Weird.
I think in the Olympics, and I could be way off, and we can someone can yell at me in the comments.
I'm Googling.
I think in England or Great Britain, I think you have the option in the Olympics to represent the UK, which falls under Great Britain, or the individual countries, Wales, Ireland. I think I probably am way off and making it off the top of my head, but I think.
It says the Team GB is organized by the British Olympic Association as the National Olympic Committee for the UK. Blank.
Okay, so I think I'm right.
So Great Britain is just I guess it's just like the greater
Scotland,
the greater Los Angeles area. It's just great. It's just the Great Britain.
Right.
It's just like we're the shit. It's like they're the state that's the shit in their country. So they're like, we're Britain, bitch.
Yeah, I mean,
We're great.
There's so many things you learn and know when you travel. Like you uncover about, because I think America has this. It's American exceptionalism, because America's so new and rose to power and to greatness, so to speak, in such a short amount of time compared to these other countries that have been around for centuries.
Yeah.
I didn't know, what the Commonwealth was until I lived in Australia, and there was the Commonwealth Games and things like that, which is, Canada, England or UK, Canada, UK, South America, Australia, and I think I'm.
It's all the British territories.
It's all the British territories.
Oh my God, they have their own sports and
They have their own games, but
That's so cool.
But when you're applying for visas or traveling visas, they're completely different. When I lived in Australia and I had my 1 year holiday working visa as an American, I can only get it for 1 year. But if I was a Canadian resident, or I can do it for I think 2 or 3 years or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, or you can do it multiple times. Where in America you can only do it once. So. And that's pretty much it for stupid. There wasn't much. I mean, there wasn't much silly news out there, as much as there was last week, like the McRib. So we're gonna go on to sports and gaming.
Sports.
And I'm not gonna even do my picks without a reason this week, because it's
15 games, right?
It's the end of the season. I'm gonna talk about my team, the New York Giants, and the big shock they did this weekend over the Seattle Seahawks. So the Seattle Seahawks I think they were 8-3 or 8-4, something like that. And they were first in the NFC West. I think they still might be, depending on when this podcast comes out. It might be the Rams. But the Giants were 4-7. Now they're 5-7. The Giants were 1-7 at one point. This team, I mean, the whole NFC East is trash. And somehow, some way, they ended up beating the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, which is very difficult for the Giants to do, to go on the road from East Coast to West Coast and they did it. And now they're clear leader in the first in the NFC East, with a fourth seed in the playoffs, which they probably shouldn't deserve, but they're going to get it. Now, the second team in that league, in the division, in the NFC East, is the Redskins. And the Redskins had an even bigger shocking win. They beat the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. Huge. That's huge. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think, were 12-0, and now they're 12-1 by a team that was 4-7. With a quarterback that hadn't played in the league, and he'd played the past 2-3 games, but hadn't played in the league prior for almost 2 years, because he broke his leg in like 11, 17 different places, something like that. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oy.
But that's what's going on with sports in terms of like what I want to talk about. I want to talk to you. And Andy, do you play like Call of Duty? Are you a video game guy?
I haven't played it in a while, but I was on a Warzone binge. Yeah, bender when it came out. Like, I was literally glued to that for like a month. And then I literally was like, I need a little bit of a break. And then when I take a break, I just don't play. It's weird. Like, I go through like ebbs and flows of
I used to be the same thing. I used to, like, especially when when a new Call of Duty version was released, I would play for like 2 months, hardcore, and then I would just trickle out. I got, sidetracked with other projects and things I want to do. But because we can't really go anywhere in COVID times and this lockdown, I don't want to look at how many hours I play, because it's probably embarrassing, but I played at least at the minimum 2 hours each day. And the new game came out. I don't know if you have it. I know you have the old one from Modern Warfare. The new one came out called Call of Duty Cold War.
Ooh, I saw the ads for that. I need to get that.
It's good. I like, in terms of the multiplayer, I like the other version, Modern Warfare, better. It's just I think it's just better graphics. But what I love about Warzone is that, and what I love about what's happened these past 2 Call of Duties with Warzone, is that now you can do cross-platform, cross-generational with consoles. Yep. So now the PS5 and the new Xbox One series is out. You can still play with friends that have the Xbox regular series and the PS4.
That's awesome. The Xbox One and the new Xbox and the new PS and the old PS.
Yes. Right. So you can play. You can do cross-platform playing with them. And what I liked about these Call of Duty modern, especially the Warzone and Modern Warfare, and like they release new content every like 45 days, like this battle pass type of thing. So like you have to buy it. It's like $5 or $10, I think, maybe even cheaper, and you go through the rankings of unlocking all these new weapons, new weapons, new gear, new operators like skin, all that type of stuff. It's really, really great. And I love it. I'm just so addicted to it. I kind of want to start like a Twitch streaming channel of all my gaming that I do with me and my friend Chris. Me and my friend Chris do a lot of. We want to call it Shirtless and Hairy. And we have fun. I mean, I think I've won like 20 games in Warzone, which, may seem a lot, but it's not a lot compared to some people I know.
You might get a cease and desist from Bert Kreischer there.
Really? Really?
No, it's because he doesn't wear a shirt. Not his hair.
Oh.
No, it was my lame attempt at a joke.
I was like, does that really happen? I feel like, I'm not going to be like completely, it's just like shirtless from the waist up.
I thought it was the crickets. Sorry.
Oh, I thought it was. I'm like, you want to play porn music? Okay, we can play that.
There's the crickets.
But I love the way gaming's going. It's turning into this $billion sport now. I mean, and it's crazy because I have my mother in the back of my head telling me to like, you're going to go cross-eyed from playing too many video games. This won't lead to anything in your life. And I know it's a different time, but man, if I could go take a time machine, go back to the 80s because I'm an original gamer with like Atari and Nintendo and everything. I wish I could be like, listen, I'm practicing for when I'm 30. All right. I'm going to crush these new like 15-year-olds that are just nimble with their fingers and really quick with the trigger at Call of Duty.
You just wait, Mom. EA's going to rent out the Palladium.
Wait.
And there's going to be a big match.
Or I could be the opposite of I could be that dude from Grandma's Boy,
Yeah.
and just like be Gray Bush and playing all these like early 20s in video game development. Yeah. But no, I really like where it's going. I think it's gaming industry is really taking off. I'm really excited to see what they do with VR. I mean, people have VR headsets now, but I really feel like in the next 5 to 10 years. With Call of Duty, you're going to be standing there holding these paddles and switching guns and like actually moving through, which again is dangerous because I get too involved and as is with just a headset on and a mic. If I have an actual VR optics on my face, I'm going to charge through my TV. I'm going to jump over my couch. I'm probably going to like kick my dog and my cat.
Well, that when it gets to that level, you kind of have to have like a 360 treadmill.
Yeah.
Where you're like, you're locked in, you can walk any direction, but you're not going anywhere. That'd be dope.
It's going to be so much money.
I know.
These things already cost
they require so much.
These things already cost like $500-600. I mean, and what's crazy is people are buying these in buying multiple and then reselling them for like twice the price. People are paying for it. People are paying for it. It's wild. Yeah. So anyway, that's.
But I would love to see a stream. That'd be dope. Because we can do shows here too.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be dope.
I want to do something like that. I want to keep it fun. I want to keep it, keep the streaming stuff like that. I think it's just adding more to this channel, more to the repertoire of this channel. Yeah. Plus, everybody can see how bad or good of a gamer I am. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell how good I am. Like, there's some times I go off in multiplayer where I'm like, I got 42 kills and I only died 20 times. And I'm like, I think that's pretty good. Or like in Warzone, it's like, I killed 8 people in Warzone. And I got third place. And then the next round I'll play, I'll die right as I land, go to the gulag, and die right there and get like dead last. Done. And I'm like, what is my range here? Like, if I'm a golfer, what is my handicap in this? Like, what am I?
Right. Where do you fit in? I
would love to play with like a streamer or like someone that's ranked, just so I can see where I stack up while I'm playing them. And here's the other thing is a lot of these pro gamers, and I'm pretty sure they use PC, and I hear PC is a completely different world and when it comes to gaming. I used to be a big PC guy. I love PC. PC games and PC gaming. I think I just got more into Xbox and PS3, PlayStation, stuff like that as I got older. But like now, people are telling me that like who are going to computers and building their own computers and playing games on computers, that they'll never go back to a console game again because it's
just that good.
It's just that it's that much better.
Well, it's a lot cheaper to get the best visuals, the best everything. It's there's a whole. It's all your level of involvement. Yeah. It's like, how much do you want to get involved? Do you want to have a PC like gaming system? Because you know what I mean? Like, or do you want just the thing next to the TV? You turn it on, you play, and you have fun.
One of my best friends from growing up, he was a huge Xbox guy, And I had no idea, but he spent like close to $2,000 on like PC. I mean, that's just not the PC itself. He got like a chair. He got like these monitors. And I'm just like, and this dude's got a daughter. I mean, I don't have kids. This dude's got a daughter. I was like, that money. He's like, I have money for her. This is money for me. All right. When I come home from work, I spend time with my kid. And then when she goes to bed, I just sit in my chair and I game. I'm like, what about your wife? I'm like, she does her thing. I was like, does she get? No, she doesn't. She, and I, again, I'm thankful that Carrie lets me do all this, because I know I've been in relationships. There was time where I didn't game for like 5 years because the girl I was dating didn't like video games. She thought it was a waste of time. Her boyfriend before her was a complete cokehead and would just play World of Warcraft for 8 hours at a time. So she was like...
So that ruined it for you.
That ruined it for me. Yeah. It always happens. You think you find someone that you really care about, and then the guy or girl before you ruins that person.
It sucks.
It
sucks.
Listen, we are where we're supposed to be, and I'm thankful I'm with Carrie.
Of course.
So
we definitely, it's just, some people never find that puzzle piece, that matching puzzle piece.
I think people just expect too much from other people.
The puzzle piece to fit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, people people have these expectations of what their lives want to be like and who they want to be like. And it doesn't always work out that way. And then when that doesn't happen,
right,
they get upset and freak out or whatever.
And this is the gaming and sports section of the Zach Dresler show.
You just never know where we're going to go with this. You just never know where we're going to go.
That's right. We're keeping everybody on their toes.
But we're done with that. We're going to move on to entertainment. This is the last bit here. But there's a lot of talk about
now we're entertaining people.
We're now entertaining people. Now we're going to talk about like entertainment. We're talking about new shows, TV, all that stuff that's coming out, rumors. So I don't know if you saw this. I think it was last week, or no, it was this past week. This past week was murder on Madison Beach. And, I've, since quarantine and lockdown, I've really gotten into like these murder mysteries, homicide mysteries, whatever you want to call them. I mean, I was always a fan of Law and Order and all that stuff, but this is like a documentary I think it was a 4 or 5 piece episode documentary that this guy did about the murder of his mom, and because it's a cold case, it's still an open cold case, and this happened back in I think in 2009. His mom died, and but no one knows it does. It could be his father. He interviews every single person in his family because anybody could be a victim, and it's every single episode. It's kind of like what I was talking about, The Undoing, but actual real life. And obviously not as glitzing. I mean, The Undoing was high New York society. This is someplace in Connecticut. But I mean, they talk. This woman that died was involved with Ponzi
So we're going from
schemes.
high society to upper middle class.
I would just say I'd say middle class. I wouldn't say upper middle. It's not that part of Connecticut. At least I don't think. But it's a great documentary in terms of I appreciate this kid doing this. Oh, I'm gonna say kid. This guy, he was a kid when this happened, but as he's gotten older, he's in mid-20s, I think. He made this documentary. He looks like Zac Efron a little bit, which I'm upset about. I'm like, God damn it, you're a good-looking kid. But he does this whole thing where he interviews his aunts, his uncles, business part, even the police that investigated it, the one of the senators, Supreme Court people that live in the Connecticut. I mean, it was a really well done documentary. But and spoiler alert, I'm going to spoil it in case you haven't watched it. And I know
spoiler alert. Here we go.
Indy loves spoilers.
I love them. Feed them to me.
Nothing like you expect. Like the way it's leading is you think all this investigating he does throughout the years building this documentary. You think he found someone. They leave it open. They leave it open under the assumption, which they clarify, that he won this appeal to get more information from the police that the cops were not giving to him. They had some other evidence and information that him and his private eye detectives that he hired were not privy to, and so he took it to court. I mean, this guy was great. for years would go once a year to the precinct to talk to the police to talk about all this, and he recorded it, which you're not technically supposed to do, but he did anyway. And he hired his own private investigation team that found other evidence that the police didn't find. And so what he wanted was the evidence and the reports from the police that the police said he was not entitled to, so that he could do more investigating from what he has. And so at the end of the series, he ends up getting the permission because it happened this past October, and now they're going over 1,600 pages of evidence and files from So hopefully that they do a second season of Murder on Madison Beach where he finds out more information. But it's just one of those things where it's like, each episode you're like, oh man, this is great, and then it's like, we don't find anything, so it's still a cold case. So basically, cool. I know more about a
fun family, huh?
Yeah, a fun family. So check it out.
Murder on Middle Beach.
Murder on Madison Beach. Is it Middle Beach?
It's Middle Beach.
I messed it up. Murder on Middle Beach.
It's on HBO, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Madison's the kid's name. That's what it is.
It's Madison Hamburg's the filmmaker.
Yeah. Good. Smart kid. Seems like a smart kid. He put it really well together. I enjoyed it. His father's a creep. I think his father did it, or his father had a hand in it. I mean, this dude. I'm not getting into it. You can keep watching it. Mandalorian, new week, new episode. If you haven't seen it, spoiler, we're going to talk about it. So
spoil.
Get the hell out of here.
Just skip this whole segment if you don't like spoilers.
Exactly.
Yes.
Skip this segment. Because we're going to get to some other stuff in a minute here, but. Did you?
I'll keep the graphic on screen so people can see where the spoilers end. And
Perfect. We love graphics here.
Hey, we're a graphic.
We're not graphic heavy, but we like graphics.
Yeah.
You still haven't watched The Mandalorian, right?
I haven't. No.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And even though I know we come to the conclusion last week that you do like Star Wars, but just haven't watched this.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, man. I have a proclivity to shorter form content for some reason, or maybe not even that. I just I don't really watch high quality content much. Okay. It's weird.
That's fine. Listen,
no, it's not like I dig the storyline. I love everything about it. It's just like I'm more on YouTube, but it doesn't necessarily mean that The Mandalorian ain't. Some of the best TV out there, because
there's some good TV that's been on YouTube that now has crossed over, which we'll get to in a minute.
And Jon Favreau is EP on this, right? On Mandalorian?
Yes.
Yeah. Because you can't go wrong.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, he's when it comes to this type of sci-fi stuff, I mean, he crushed in Iron Man. He crushed it with this.
Yeah, he's a heavy hitter.
But this episode was, and I said this last week. I said last week about the previous episode that was the best episode I've seen, maybe of the season, maybe the whole entire series. This might contend with it. This might be the better episode. And the reason why is because they brought Boba Fett back. So Boba Fett, the guy, and I'm pretty sure it was the guy that played Boba Fett in The Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. I think it's the same Boba Fett. I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm looking it up.
If not, that's a terrible.
It's on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
I love this. Let's see here.
But I mean, the whole episode had a lot of action to it. Baby Yoda, or Grogu, as everybody's calling it now, was taken by the Empire that's reemerging to try to use its powers. We're still not sure why they want Grogu, but it's for something that he has powers to.
He was portrayed by Jeremy Bulloch in episode 5 and 6. John Morton, Daniel Logan in episode 2. Wow, there's so many people who portrayed Boba Fett.
Really?
So many.
I thought this was the same guy. Okay, well, regardless, they brought the character back, which, I really enjoyed the storytelling because it's a callback to a previous episode with the Mandalorian's Beskar armor. So he
is a Mandalorian, right?
Yeah, he is a Mandalorian.
Right.
So is Boba Fett.
Right, like they're bounty hunters.
Yeah, they're bounty hunters.
Right.
They follow Creed and all that stuff. I thought it was a great episode. It leaves you hanging. You're like, oh my god, what's going to happen with Baby Yoda? I'm freaking out. What's going on? But I guess I didn't ruin too much for you. But yeah, I mean, he was taken by the Empire, and Boba Fett's ship was destroyed. Which, I mean, not Boba Fett, but the Mando ship was destroyed, and now they're on Boba Fett's ship. But I really enjoyed this episode. I'm excited to see how this series is going to go. I think there's like maybe 3 or 4 episodes left, but it's been great. But let's move on to some big news and rumors coming out of the Marvel Universe. So, earlier this year, there was talk about Tom Holland and Spider-Man and how he's going to be using the MCU because Sony still owns the rights to Spider-Man and, Fox, Disney now owns Marvel. So it's this whole, studio mishigas. But they came to an agreement that they're still going to do a Spider-Man 3, which will be under MCU, and I believe that he'll still be involved in the Avengers movies going forward, the next couple Avenger movies. But the Spider-Man 3, there have been a lot of rumors and a lot of big signings and news coming out of it because this Spider-Man is supposed to be in the multiverse. And for those of you who aren't familiar about the multiverse and MCU and Spider-Man, go do your research. I don't have time to explain it to you. But it's really cool because they're talking about bringing back the other 2 Peter Parkers, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst. But what I'm really excited about is that they're bringing back a villain in Doc Ock. And I like that's from the first series of Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. That was number 2, and I really like this character and I really like the actor Alfred Molina who played Doc Ock, and it's rumored that he's coming back to play Doc Ock. Now I'm not sure how this whole thing with the Spider-Verse is supposed to be. I'm hoping to see Miles Morales in there, who is supposed to be the other type of Peter Parker-esque, who is supposed to be Peter Parker but in a different Spider-Verse. We saw him in. We saw it in the cartoon, Spider-Man. But I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to really. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to satisfy all the spider folks out there because we know how that works. No one's ever completely satisfied. But I think if this is done right, and Marvel has done a lot of great movies right, I really feel like they're going to nail this with all these, with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies. It's going to be great. I'm really and there's also rumors that Jamie Foxx will be coming back as Electro, which was from the Amazing Spider-Man movies, which was Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man version.
Or even a Green Goblin, maybe.
Green Goblin. I mean, there's going to be. I think we're going to see a lot of, they're saying William Dafoe come back as Green Goblin. It's James Franco. Like, who's going to be coming back here? And I'm excited about it. Now, of course, there's going to be, there's always the jokes and everything I saw online. There was like. Whatever his name is, who played Anakin Skywalker, is coming back to play Anakin Skywalker in the Spider-Man movie. You got jokes everywhere.
Right.
But I think Spider-Man is one of the most classic cartoons that are out there, for me at least. I think that's, that has, next to Batman, next to Robin, Superman.
I think, Spider-Man has just a really cool vibe around it that a lot of the others don't have.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, and I don't want to say this in a bad way, but it's not very like, how Avengers are, it's just like, we're like pre-Spider-Man,
Yeah.
But like I remember, what was the most recent one that came out with, the kid? Where it was the most recent Spider-Man or
Spider-Man 2 with Tom Holland.
2 ago. I'm sorry. It was the
Homecoming.
Yeah, that one with that actor was so.
Well, it was Tom Holland. It's Tom Holland. Yeah.
And he's the Spider-Man in this. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they're talking about bringing back the other 2 Spider-Mans and Tobey Maguire.
3 Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about it. So they're bringing back all these Spider-Mans, including the villains, including the love interest, and Kirsten Dunst, and all that, and Zendaya, because it's supposed to be a Spider-Verse.
Jeez.
So did you watch the cartoon version? With Miles Morales, the one that came out.
No, but I did see.
You should watch it. the animation's fantastic. B, the storyline's great, and C, it lets you into the world of what the Spider-Verse is and what this multiverse is going to be. I think when we're talking about, I think he's a relatable superhero because look at Batman. Batman's a $1 billion, mogul, playboy, kind of dude. Same with Iron Man, $1 billion genius type of thing. Superman's an alien with, crazy powers. But when you think about, who's older, when you think about Spider-Man's this kid from Queens. Every kid wants to be a superhero. Every kid wants to sling. Every kid wants to climb up walls. Every kid, what I mean? Like
it's the ultimate kid.
It's the ultimate,
fantasy.
and I feel like that's why he has the biggest range in terms of like his reach, because every kid can relate to wanting to be the Spider-Man, the kid that's like the outcast, doesn't have many friends, but that gets all these powers, that sort of thing.
Right. No, it's a very relatable, desirable, and like almost attainable lifestyle where you're just like, if I could just sling it. I could be him,
But here's the thing: nobody ever talks about his like a weakness that people are like, it's not a weakness. What happens if Spider-Man's like in the middle of the Midwest and like suburban rural towns? Like, what's he gonna sling from? Yeah, like then think about it.
He's got to aim for a 747, and he's
well, that was in the first movie with Tom Holland, The Homecoming, or in this movie. He was in the suburban area, and he gets out, and he shoots, and he goes. It's in the middle of a golf course. It's nowhere. So now he's running across a golf course while the sprinklers are on.
I would say that's a huge weakness.
Huge weakness.
And like, to all those who say it isn't, put them in a situation where it doesn't work and see what happens, dog.
Yeah. Last but not least, before we go, I want to talk about, I don't know if you've seen this show, Indy. Again, it started on YouTube.
I've only heard good things about it.
Cobra Kai. It came out 2 years ago. It was a YouTube Red special. That's where it aired. I think the first 2 seasons were on there. And now Netflix has picked it up. It's now a Netflix show. And me and Carrie, we started watching it, I want to say mid-September, and we went through the 2 seasons like that within like a week. I mean, people are like, whoa, you huge Karate Kid guy? I like the movies. I mean, it was a time when I was growing up. It came out in the 80s.
It's an iconic film. Yeah.
It's an iconic film.
Yeah.
Is it great acting? Fuck no. I mean, it was 80s movies, but what I love about this show is that they've taken this show and they've taken the storyline and they've taken the same characters who are okay actors and they've made this compelling show. It's basically a show about rags to riches and riches to rags. And, you wouldn't expect it. There's comedy in a lot of places where you wouldn't think there's good comedy. The villain is now sort of like becoming the hero, and
he's the anti-hero, right?
Yeah, and now the hero, and like
William Zabka, baby.
It's really great, and it's cheesy, but it's great all at the same time.
Oh, so it does take place now, like in modern time.
Yeah. So it takes place 30 years later, 30 some odd years later after. I mean, they pick it, and it's all the same characters. Like even the girl, the love interest from the first Karate Kid, she's going to come into this third movie. The sensei, Johnny Lawrence's sensei,
right?
He's in this whole thing.
That's awesome.
Miyagi's not in it, obviously,
right?
but even like the other Cobra Kais that like Johnny was friends with, there's an episode with them all grown up. It's so funny.
It's a well done spinoff.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the last episode, the second season, it was like watching the Battle of the Bastards for me in Game of Thrones. It was epic. Like any episode or any series, I always tell people to give it 2 or 3 episodes. Because that's how you're going to just, nothing. I've yet to see a show where the first episode really captivates you. You need to get to the second or third episode, or seasons. They got to build their own world and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. But Cobra Kai is one of my favorites. You should go check it out. Again, the season 3 is coming out in January. It's going to be huge. I love it. But that's our show. That is
episode 2, man. I think it's a natural show.
We're getting better. We're getting better. Any thoughts? Any comments you guys want to have? Please leave in the comment section below. You can subscribe to us on for the podcast version of this on Spotify, Apple Music, all of them. They're out there. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We'd love you for it.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.